just want to let you know I will never make you Well, hello.
Hello again.
How's it going? Welcome to Over the Way. I keep wanting to look over there because this is new. We have a new setup. We figured this would be a bit more, I don't know. Just look, I feel like it looks nicer. Let us know if it looks nicer.
Yeah.
Maybe not, maybe it doesn't.
I like the mix up though.
No, I think it's good. I always like a good forward-facing camera. I've been debating on whether or not to wear the glasses or not, though.
If you don't, you should just have the most extreme squint the whole time. Like,
So, hi everybody. Today we're talking about things.
where's the camera?
Where am I?
Hello, Olio. How's it going?
Hello, Olio.
Hi, Mikey Staten.
Oh, I can't read chat.
It's symmetrical.
Yeah, I can't read that far either. Oh my god.
I'll be chat guy.
Yeah, you're chat guy. Literally, Thomas, we were just joking about squinting, and now we're like,
What's the chat?
what's the chat?
What's the chat say? Yeah, if I have these on, I can read it, but otherwise I can't. So I'm just gonna go in between.
I have two tiny glasses.
I want to experience
on my-
both. I want to experience both.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Olio is symmetrical.
It's symmetrical. It's symmetrical.
We saw that you followed after our stream.
So you watched our stream after the fact.
Let
Thank
us
you.
know if you did. That was awesome.
Mucho appreciated.
Oh yeah.
But today, we're talking about goal setting. We felt like we had a different idea. We were going to talk about, well, I'm not even going to tell you what we were going to talk about because it doesn't really matter now because we're going to talk about it in the future.
Yeah.
But we felt it was appropriate to talk about setting goals and how we phrase them because it's just everybody seems to think now is the time to set goals. And
Right.
and I guess we'll get into this later, but setting goals is a constant thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I wanna hand it off to you because this is kind of your idea to begin with. Just like where you kind of conceptualized
Yeah.
goals.
I think the rush of goal making, New Year, new goals, exactly. I think the rush of motivation comes with the new year, because that's when generally what we've all agreed on as a group of people is that when the year changes over, we need to change everything all at once. And you'll see a rush of people start to take heed on those goals, whether it's going to the gym or quitting a habit or something. You hear the phrase "New Year, New Me." That doesn't necessarily sit right with me, and we say that we should set goals throughout the entirety of our lives, not necessarily at a specific point. And I think we wanted to talk today just about the rephrasing of that particular phrase, "New Year, New Me," when you can change who you are in the middle of the year or at the end of the year or in between when something monumental happens in your life. You always have that decision. It doesn't have to necessarily be at the beginning of a new year. So I think just talking about that phrase in particular and other phrases that come to mind over the course of this stream that are typical phrases that don't necessarily hold a lot of weight when it can be used all around. New Year, New Me is just, the most relevant.
Alright.
Truthfully, yeah, this is the time where everyone thinks that they need to make all these huge goals for themselves. And the biggest thing for me is like you're talking about, you can set goals at any time in the year. It's consistency. It's the reason why we're doing streams 3 times a month. Yeah, Squidward.
Yeah, Squid Man. Squid's in the chat.
Nice.
But the consistency. If you are doing something constantly, then you are just by the fact that you're doing it, you're going to get better. Like even from our first stream, it's been over a month ago now. Like we've been doing this for a month and a half, and it's just with that consistency. I feel like today, I did setup for an hour and a half. And before our first stream, I think I literally took 5 hours.
Yeah.
It was like an all-day
you
thing.
were in there for a while.
And then even after we were done, you guys wanted to record, and you guys were just staring at me, staring at my computer for 2 hours, just me being like, "What is it? How do this?"
Right.
So it's like goal setting is seriously so much about consistency. If you want to do something, you, for one, need to surround yourself with people or experiences that actually boost you up into that. Because if you constantly have people pulling you down and constantly have situations not actually giving you the opportunity to do what you want to do, then obviously you're not going to complete those goals. Like it's just
Right.
the consistency won't be there, and it becomes really confusing. And thank you, Colton. 9 followers, yeah.
Oh, thank you so much.
9 followers in a month.
Yeah.
So it's a new record for.
It's a huge record for us.
every
Let's reach 10 people. Yeah.
side note on that is that it's not overly important to us to have 1 million subs. That being said, sub to us right now if you're not subbed.
Tom's our sub getter.
Yes, I'm the one who does that. I don't do anything else. I just go, hey, can you sub, please?
That's it.
No, I'd like to ask your opinion on this too.
Oh yeah, on the actual topic, I was gonna say that this is a side branch from that, but it's because we have that phrase of New Year, New Me, and everybody wanting to have a New Year's resolution of changing themselves. Several businesses make so much money off of that ideal in itself.
Truthfully.
The rec center here, before COVID, I don't know what they're doing now, but they would offer a huge deal where you get a whole year for a lesser price, and they know that people aren't going to follow through. And they're just going to be there for a couple months.
In a way, they're banking on it. I mean, if they sell, what, like 1,000 subscriptions, if 1,000 people were in there every single day,
yeah,
that place can hold 1,000 people. I mean, I guess you could start eating 1,000 people in there totally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, totally.
Yeah, which, I'm not shaming them for doing that, really. They got to make money, but it's still just interesting that people have learned that we have that ideal, and they will exploit that to make money.
It is interesting that it's marketed, for sure.
I mean, that goes into to the concept of holidays and stuff. I've never been big on celebrating holidays specifically. I rather just, I stayed at home on Christmas just because it was, my one day where I was just like, wow, nothing. This is so nice. This is so nice. Nothing's going on. No one expects me to do anything either.
Right.
Nothing needs to happen. And that was nice, and people do capitalize on it, but it's like even other businesses, it's nice to have deals for people and give people opportunities to I don't know, have this coming together as a communal event and everyone on the same page, and then holidays are the most logical way for people to do that. But then it becomes that big old money grubbing machine where it's
capitalizing.
Not, yeah, it's capitalizing for sure, but it's not setting people up for actual success. I mean that's the whole point of free will, and I guess in America, freedom. You could go buy and do whatever you want if you got the money and got the time. Go do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like in school we get taught exactly they ask, so in 5 years, where do you see yourself? And it's well, I'm 16 right now, and 5 years ago I was 11, and I don't remember that shit. I can't count. Don't
You're
do
right.
it. Don't.
Yeah.
Was I right? What number did I say? Did I say 16?
16, 11. No, you were
16,
totally
okay, I
right.
was right.
11,
Okay.
yeah, you were correct.
All right. For some reason, I thought I said 18, and then I went to 11. I was like, I can't count. But yeah, no, they do that kind of exercise, and it gets people kick-started into thinking about that concept. But then when they actually get into it, it's not as simple as just thinking about what you want to do. I mean, it is really hopping through hoops that you might not exactly enjoy to get to the goal that you set for yourself.
Right. I think practicing setting goals from an early point on, which is, well, you're in school now, especially at an earlier age, our earlier audiences are probably experiencing that now, where your English teachers or any other teacher in particular is going to ask you, where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years, or to write a letter to yourself 10 years in the future. It gets the process thinking of what do I really want to do with my life? And I think, speaking from me personally, anytime that I've gotten asked those questions as I got older, it created more of a point of crisis of what do I need to do to get to that point? Because I don't know who I'm talking to 5 years in the future or 10 years in the future. I think after I graduated high school when I was 18, I had that kind of crisis of now I don't have to go to school every day, but now what do I do from this point on? I have to find a job, maybe choose to go to college. I just remember for, I think, a whole summer just kind of sitting in random different places in my free time, just thinking, like, what does the future hold? And I had no steps to take that. And that kind of thought process is nice to have, because setting goals and actually following through with them creates a good practice from achieving that goal.
Spearheading off that, I mean, when you're sitting there in high school, I actually had a really good experience. This is my senior year of college right now, this year, 2020. And I had a teacher in my pandemics class, and honestly, for the first time in a while, it's like constant reiteration. Like, I know it's not how much you know, it's who you know. And it truthfully, like, obviously, like, you don't want to go into a situation not know what you're doing. Like, obviously, knowing what you're doing is very, very important. But honestly, if you find somebody who actually cares about your growth and cares to, like, see your goals through and has these resources for you, and by resources, I mean more people. Like, networking is so important in any goal. Like, if you want to go do something, if you don't know who to go to and there's no one helping you get those people, 9 times out of 10, it's like you're starting from square one learning how to do rocket science. Like, you don't want to be like, you don't want to have to learn everything from square one. It's just,
it would be good for somebody to come in and show you the key points.
Exactly. And I'm sure it might be better or different in bigger cities, because in Gillette, it's like we're in high school and they're asking you what do you want to do for, like, work later on in life, and it's very industrial here.
Very
so
limited.
It's like you go into oil work, working on a derrick, or you're working in a mine, or you're working in healthcare, and it's like you got these paths, and they give you, like, I worked in a doctor's office in high school. I didn't like it. I think I literally fell asleep while filing stuff one time, and I got yelled at, and filing is not for me. And I learned that about myself.
It's good trial and error.
It's trial and error. Nothing like a 15-year-old falling asleep on some files. But no, it was good that they had some opportunities, but it's just like having the resources available to connect kids and or adults with. I mean, I guess that's pretty much just like a job. What is that called? Like, you go to, like, the workforce place. They just hook you up with jobs. Like, what was that one place is called, like a deco or whatever? It's just the part-time jobs. Like, here, go find a job, but it's not like your passion or anything. They don't have these resources.
It's kind of like just like a foot in door. Like,
exactly.
I worked with a deco for quite some time, moving away from a gas station job. And it was specifically that. It was somebody would be on the inside waiting for opportunities to open up to be like, this person seems like a good candidate and you want to give it a shot, and it's like a temporary trial run. And if you do well at that position, then you can be hired on full-on or part-time from that point.
Definitely.
Good experience. I'm looking at chat right now too, and
I just saw that.
Olero said a great feeling is accomplishing goals that you set, plan often, achieve often, and repeat often. And that's exactly kind of a point we're making is consistency. Is when you set small goals and you constantly achieve them, you get into that habit. And from that
setting
point
habits, man. Setting habits is ultimate goal setting.
Yeah, your goal setting will eventually get larger and larger, and it'll be more comfortable for you from that point on to achieve.
There's a really interesting video. I might link it in our YouTube video of this actual video, in the comments. But comments in the description. In the description.
We have it
in the YouTube description. I'll try to link it. But there's this guy who tries to decipher the difference between. I don't know if anyone's familiar with the brain chemicals dopamine and serotonin. Dopamine is kind of like it is goal setting territory. When you accomplish something and when you're setting something, that's dopamine. And serotonin is more of like the in the moment, like mood setting, sleeping, regulating in the moment. And dopamine is really the long term reward center. And you can really mess it up if you don't kind of balance the things that you're doing. And I'm not explaining it as well as the guy that I watched says it. I should, since I'm a psychology major, but I'm learning. And to go off what you just said, the olio, a great feeling of accomplishing goals and set plans often, achieve goals, repeat often. I mean, that's the concept of meditation. Some people, thank you, Duder.
Thank you, dude, for following.
A lot of people when they set, good to see you, Mike. Seen on Facebook, thought I'd say hi.
Whoa, welcome.
Welcome.
Can't quite see who you are based off of the the title of your name, but yeah, let me know who it is so I can say hi back.
Yeah, just DM him.
Uncle.
If you don't want your name out there.
1965. I was guessing birth year. I was guessing it.
Uncle. Okay, well
Hello.
that's not too specific, so that's nice.
Hey, Uncle Wayne. Nice seeing you. Thanks for joining in. We were just talking about goal setting for the new year and basically how that kind of gets changed and how the motivation of the uncle or
Of the uncle.
of the uncle. How basically the goal setting really gets motivated at the beginning of the year versus how we can apply it to our entire life.
But going back to Oliolios, like meditation, everyone thinks it's such a spiritual thing, and you can make meditation spiritual, but I mean the consistency. Like I used to meditate quite often, and it was more about just like me sitting down and actually like evaluating myself, like thinking about the day. It was at the end of the day, I'm sitting near the sunset. It was just like relaxing, and I sit there. I'm like, what did I not like about the day? What wasn't helping me through the day? Like, what could I have done better? How could have I acted better? It was just like that self-validation and kind of like understanding what I did and didn't like in the day. I didn't make it too spiritual. I mean, you definitely can, and some people really do, and I think a lot of people shy away from that, and it's really more about just listening to yourself, giving that 5 minutes of actually like complete silence, which is really hard for a lot of people. I mean, like sitting there for a couple minutes without like looking at a phone or electronic or a pet or just that distraction that helps you get through life, sometimes hard. And I totally get it.
Yeah.
But and I wanted to give you guys a time to talk. I brought up that idea of you guys. We met through college, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago almost.
We're going into it being the sixth.
Yeah, so we're going into that being the 6th year, and I wanted to hear a little bit about what you guys were going through. I mean, they're from Virginia, and this is Wyoming, so I mean they've came out.
Yeah.
From nowhere.
Yeah, I'll throw it over to Tom first.
My hair is fucked up. It's never all right.
It's weird being on camera and adjusting and watching yourself adjusting because you're like, oh, people are seeing that right now.
Yeah, right. I've been messing with my hair since we started. But anyway. Well, personally with me, I mean, this may differ from how y'all feel. I'm not sure. But I think goals are really important. I think that you should try and work towards them all the time when you can. But I think there's got to be a balance of when you're pushing really hard to get something done and when you take time to just be happy with where you're at. And you kind of said that earlier. But you got to be able to be somewhat complacent with where you're at, so that you can have a comfortability to move forward with your current goals. Because if you're stressed out all the time, it's going to be way harder for you to move forward on your goals than it would be if you have a good home life, whatever that is. And that made it sound like I don't know what that is, but a good home life and you know a place to de-stress, because you can't always be stressed. It will wear you down until you're nothing but bones.
Can you put yourself back in the mindset of like 2015 where you're at in college? No. Thomas has blocked all memory receptors of his birth. He lives in the moment.
All the time, every time. I'm moving forward. I have no idea what I just left behind.
He's a shark of memories. If he stops, he dies.
The blood of my past.
Moving out here was hard for me. I'm sure Mikey relates entirely.
We talk often about how we're not the same as we were.
Yeah,
for sure.
Things have been different out here. You know, I made a lot of friends. It's interesting.
Sorry, Leo says literally cannot remember a time I wasn't stressed. And
That's
I feel
fair.
that. I feel that hardcore.
Often feel that way, but once I become really stressed, my instant goal is to figure out how to fix that. Mm-hmm. And then from there, I go back to whatever the hell else I was doing.
Hence the past shark.
Yeah,
past
that's why I don't remember my past. It's way easier to not be stressed, and it's also easier to fuck people over.
This is opening up a whole repression talk here.
Nah, just kidding.
Later, Uncle Wayne. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, for real.
Love you too.
but coming out here was difficult because in Virginia I had a very good set of friends who
Close friends.
I still talk to sometimes, not all the time, but a lot of them, they wish me well on the holidays and stuff, and I will eventually go back to see them. But
Love to.
you know, change is important, especially if you have a goal, like I did at the time of going to college, and the goal was also to do it for free, which is why I came here. It ended up being not exactly what I wanted, the college, and it was a very stressful time for me while I was in college, but it led to me meeting Tony and choice other people that I created a band with. Well, I didn't create it, actually. That's false. I joined it, and then we wrote some music together. I don't want to sound like I had the idea.
You were an OG, so I mean, you're in it.
We were in a
Well,
separate,
when you guys came back, it was with a gig with us. So, I mean...
so we were in a separate band that started the ball.
So we were there, but we weren't... I wasn't in it yet. I don't know. I'm just trying to
I mean,
make
to
sure...
be fair, when I made the band, it was me coming back from California, and someone asked me to do a show. So me, Robbie, and Addy got the little bit of material that I had, and they had together, and we threw a show in a week. And that was how the band got formed. It was as last minute as you would think. Yeah.
But now it's something really, really good, you know, and I was in the Millennials at one point and was just like, man, I want to do something like that.
Yeah.
When you guys played before us at that show, like, you didn't have bass or anything, and I could tell that there were some parts where you guys had not, like, really entirely practiced, because you would, even the show you did with us was, like, impromptu. Robbie had just came back from somewhere.
Yep. He moved back.
Yeah.
That was like our first show coming back.
But even slightly unpracticed, it was super good. I just thought that the drums were cool, your vocals and your lyrics were nice, and that still holds up. It's really, you can still watch that show on the old Millennials.
We have both those shows. We have actually there's a recording of our, like, the Unknown Knowns first show back in like 2014.
Oh, really?
And actually, the person who recorded it actually just passed away this last year, which is kind of sad. I still have that video though, and it's very interesting because it was just a packed house in this, and it was actually a rap concert. We were opening up a rap concert, and we're a rock band. It was great.
You know, as a band, we've done that a couple times where it's
So
been like we've
interesting.
opened for weird people. Like, not they're not weird. It's just we open in a situation that's not like our normal situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we did a benefit not too long ago for, I think it was suicide awareness. We weren't quite ready for it. I didn't know what it was about when we went in. I support it, but it was still just like didn't see it coming.
Yeah, for a while I tried to get, for every festival that we threw, I tried to get like an entity that we were supporting, and sometimes it was like, I did not expect, like, I would let them talk about their cause or something like that, but sometimes the talks just like, they got intense. They got really intense. So it was just like, we did like Abuse Refuge Foundations.
It was like our second or third
and I did GARF,
festival.
and we did suicide awareness, and hello, I can't read that far,
That
but
is-
thank
that's your
you.
sister.
Aaliyah Foria. Hi, Aaliyah.
Welcome.
Welcome to the show.
But yeah, pulling back, Mike, I want to hear what you kind of went through coming through here. Goal setting. So 17, 18-year-old Mikey back in Virginia.
Ooh, what a mess of a guy. No, Thomas actually said something that I wanted to make a point on too. Is it was basically meeting you and doing the music that we did in college was a big turning point for goal setting. So I'll set that in place and then come back to it. But moving out to Wyoming for starters, getting the opportunity to come to college for free was an unexpected twist on what I had had, because I had mentioned earlier that I was post-graduate of high school and just kind of sitting around lulling on my thoughts, like, I have so much freedom now, what do I do with it? And I really haven't put anything in place beforehand to make sure I have something to go to after college. So I was kind of lost in this ether of, like, it was freedom, it was nice, but it was also like, I don't have a goal, like, I'm now gonna not do anything with my life. But getting the opportunity to come to college was actually a good opportunity. It was about who you know. and the opportunity was presented to move out halfway across the country, and I remember being just terrified and excited just because life adventures had happened. I was also more thankful and humbled that I was given an opportunity when I had no plan whatsoever. So as far as being an opportunist, it was like, yeah. Well, we have 10 followers now. Thank you so much. Aaliyah, you tipped it over to 10. Thank you so much. And Colton watching on Xbox right now? Respect. Nice. Coming out to college, though, I had... the goal was to finish like college, obviously, was to be a good college student, even though I was a C plus B student in high school, basically. Like, I did the bare minimum because it didn't necessarily interest me. But I always knew that if you had good academics, you can get into a good college and thereforth. But I wasn't necessarily planning on going to college post-high school. So getting the opportunity to go straight into college, I was like, oh shit. I gotta get my stuff together real quick about as far as like studying and habit forming with that. So my goal was to practice becoming a good college student, which didn't necessarily go wrong. I did well in college, well enough, but it was the turning point between meeting all the other musicians that we were surrounded with, because the scholarship was music based. So I was more excited about doing the music aspect of it than the academic. And meeting everyone, it was like there's such a wide variety of musicians out here that I didn't expect from a state or from a city named after a razor brand. And I was more blown away that when we actually started forming a group of people to play music together, that's when that goal shift kind of went over to, we really want to start doing music now, as opposed to, becoming a scholar. Even though my study field was in science, I was looking forward to going into a medical field, but that took what my current goals were, being a musician, and put 10 years of academic studies on top of that. And that was like frightening to just be in a financial and academic just wreck for 10 years. My goals are just constantly switching, but mainly just stayed in that lull of like, whatever opportunities that we have surrounding us right now, I just want to take full advantage of it and basically have fun with what we have. And we did like 4 festivals. I don't know if we did 3 or 4 festivals.
Did actually more than that. We did, because there's a couple of years where we did 2.
We did 2.
Year.
Yeah, we did
2 a year.
So it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 festivals.
7 festivals, and I'm honestly considering starting it back up. I've talked to a couple of different people.
I think it would go well post COVID for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And we would be able to.
Love you too.
We would be able to bring in people that are new around here to the scene.
Yeah.
And also, maintain us playing shows all over the place, and even have some smaller things that maybe just formed, or that were formed for this festival in general. But that's a whole other topic. I think it would be cool to do, though.
I agree. I mean, the reason why I wanted to you guys to talk about your guys' experience coming here to college is, I mean, obviously when you're 17 and you don't really have, I mean, not like things are completely different in our mid-20s, just like in
It's
respect to
more
being
uncertain.
super confident with where we're going, especially in today's age. It's just like we're hustling. It's like we have these goals that we want to kind of accomplish, but it's a little hard to find the consistency with how much money we have and how much time we have while just trying to survive. Which everybody's doing that though. Everyone's kind of, we're humans. We all struggle at some point.
Oh, yeah.
But when you're 17, you don't know yourself as much. So you're coming out here to college, and I think a big important thing to know with goals is exactly kind of what Thomas said indirectly, of like change is going to happen. But if you're prepared, like the one thing that is constant in life is change. Like no matter what you're doing right now, in a year's time, even if you are doing about the same things, you're gonna look at it differently, you're gonna feel differently about it, you're gonna have different people that are experiencing it. I mean, there might be some consistency in there, but the only consistency is the change that will happen. And how you deal with that is completely up to you, whether you are prepared for that change. I mean, I think that's one of the main things of goal setting is like if you can somehow, you don't have complete control, but if you have the ability to kind of understand where you're comfortable changing and understand where you need to be, then you kind of do, you do kind of have a little bit of control over how your goals will affect you in the long run. Mm-hmm. Obviously there's always those weird things that happen and something isn't successful, or you say something and you completely mess up an opportunity, or like everyone messes up. Like it's a thing that happens. Oh, yeah. Like we're on here and we're doing our live streams and I'm sure we'll say something that's offensive at some point. And
do your new uncle.
Somebody's going to be uncomfortable by what we said and we might have to explain what we were trying to go for. And it's okay though.
Yeah. I think in discussion, when trying to have discussions, it's always possible for you to say something that, you know, has a contextual meaning that maybe you didn't mean to go for, or even when you're recording for, say, video games on YouTube and putting them up, it's definitely easy to make a joke that you yourself may have thought that was okay and then realize that it is not. And the people will tell you, for sure. I mean, there's always going to be the people that understand it's a joke, but there's going to be people also that get super offended, and it's understandable most times. But I think that everybody should definitely try to understand when there was an attempt to make a joke and when someone's actually trying to attack you, because there's a difference. Mm-hmm. Fundamentally, if someone's trying to make a joke, they probably didn't mean to hurt somebody. They're just trying to like make light of something. That doesn't mean you can joke about anything, but people obviously have, and it's all in the attempt to elicit the humorous response from someone. I don't know, that's kind of like, I'm in the middle on that for sure myself.
Well, definitely. I mean, there's such a big spectrum of people trying to understand what other people are perceiving. So it's just like, I do genuinely think that there is a goodness about human nature, that we all want to see what's best for people. We're actually, that's Leo, that's literally what we're going to talk about here in just a little bit, actually.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that helps
that is on our list. That is on our list. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But yeah, I do genuinely believe that there's a good, like human nature is just, we're just trying to understand what's happening around us. And the way we each do that is different and perceived differently. There is those select few who do try to, I think, intimidate people and do try to kind of overbear on people, and that's due to a lot of things. I mean, the way that they've been treated and the way that they've been brought up, the experiences that they've gone through. But I don't know, man, the phone call I gave you the other night, on New Year's I got done bartending, I went to go Uber for a couple hours and I got like threatened. We live in a small town, so it just like caught me off guard. I was like, I'm just driving people home on New Year's from the bar, and this guy just like starts threatening me. I'm like, I don't know what to do here.
Why do you exist?
Like why? Like, yeah. And the only thing that I can come up with for why those people exist in the world, essentially, I mean, obviously, like they might have an opportunity to right their wrongs in the future, but at the same time, it's kind of humbling to have that kind of person around to remind people of like what they don't want to be like. And it's moderately a cocky thing to experience. Like, I don't want to think that I'm better than him by any means, but I sure as hell know I don't treat people as negatively as he treated, or as negatively as how he made me feel. Mm-hmm. So it did make me feel a little bit better, but also a little terrified at the moment for sure. But
no idea what you're talking about, but holy
yeah,
shit.
Sorry, you had gotten crazy. Off. We were gonna play some Red Dead, and I just got done at like 3 or 4 in the morning. I saw Mikey. It was like Thomas last on 5 minutes ago, so I tried to join, and I called Mikey because I was just like, I need to vent. We ended up staying on the phone for like an hour.
It was an hour.
It was just live talk, and I think that's actually how we got to this. To this concept for the video on New Year's. We were just talking until 4 in the morning.
So thank you, threatening Uber guy.
Yeah, thank you, threatening Uber guy, to bring up goal setting, and I mean, and that brings up my next That brings up my next legitimately. Thank you, because I made this equation. It was a song that I was working on a long time ago, where it's expectations less than sign intentions. So it's if your expectations are less than your intentions, then you're able to actually evaluate how you can actually accomplish something. If you're constantly expecting things and not actually doing that consistency that we were talking about and constantly working towards something that you actually enjoy in the moment, then of course like you're gonna be disappointed every time because you're not actually doing anything.
Oh yeah.
But if you intentionally act, if you intentionally do something in that moment, what Thomas is talking about, I mean, we were joking about hello. If we were constantly living in the moment, I totally lost my train of thought there for a second.
Rip ADHD.
Rip.
Hello.
But no, Thomas, we were joking about just being constantly in the moment. But I mean, that is a super important part about goal setting. I mean, there are some days where I just want to sit in bed and do nothing. But if I'm expecting to get anything done that day and I don't do anything, obviously nothing's gonna happen. But if I intentionally, like, I'm a big plan setter. Like, this is my planner. And I write, like, it looks like words are thrown up on it every single week. But if there's nothing wrote in that next week, you better believe I'm getting nothing done, because if I don't intentionally walk into that next week without having like a moderate plan, and not everyone works like that, that's just me, but that's what I need to do. And I know that if I don't plan that next day, that it's gonna all be lost.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna look back on that day and be like, this is so damn, like, dude, I slept until 3 today. I don't do that. That's not good. That's not good.
It's the late night Red Dead, man. I get this.
Oh, Red Dead.
It's so fun though.
It's getting me.
Yeah. Red Dead. It's fun.
I did not expect you to say that. Well, yeah, did you guys have any thoughts about what I just said?
I like Red Dead.
He likes Red Dead.
That is a good.
Do you like Red Dead? I wanted to hear from our chat a little bit.
I wanna open up chat.
I was gonna open up chat and hear what your guys' goals. This is our behind the scenes.
So you guys are sitting.
Check.
So you guys can see the chat as well.
And Olio, we will get to that question.
Yeah, exactly.
As our next section after this.
That's the reason why I wanted to bring up to chat is, for one, can you guess what's in my cup?
Mm-hmm.
Can you guess? Can you? Can you?
The winner gets $1,000 straight out of Tony's paycheck.
Straight out of Thomas's future paycheck.
My future paycheck that you're gonna pay me out.
Yep.
Okay, I'll take that. No, it's a lie. I'm sorry. I don't mean it. No one's getting any money.
That's why I kept my mouth closed. Yes, so anyone in chat right now? Olio says T. That's close.
That's a good guess.
That's where I'm sitting at though. Dragon tea.
Dragon tea. That's what Mike is
So
drinking.
partial credit.
You get 0.5.
Partial $1,000 from Thomas in the next 10 to 100 years.
Yeah.
Actually, me and Olio split it down the middle.
Oh, okay, so I pay you.
And then I pay
You
Olio.
pay him.
So T's almost right.
It's okay.
Right.
The reason why I wanted to open up the chat is to see what your guys' goals are and how you're accomplishing them. And if anyone wants to share, nobody's got to share. Or we can just do what we did last time. If you weren't here last time, everyone just started asking us random questions.
Bunch of random questions.
They're just literally random questions. Also, I wanted to shout out to my girlfriend Leo and thank you for dinner. Those things were the what are they called again?
Runzas.
Runzas.
It was
The
quite
runzas
nice.
were seriously delicious. Everybody liked them.
If you don't know what a runza is, it's basically like a
Should
burger
definitely-
that's sealed.
It's a,
Kinda, yeah.
It's like
it's
all
a burger.
dough.
It's a stuffed burger roll.
It's like if you don't have to like bite it and then like the cheese and the pickles fall out on the other side, it gets trapped by the dough. It's really good. It's
Yes.
like a
It's
German
It's like a lava
burger.
cake, but burger.
Ooh yeah.
You said you made the bread yourself. That's quite nice.
That was
That's
delicious.
very
Really
interesting.
good.
I'm really full and I hate myself. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So any questions? Anything really? But you know, like if you want to talk about your goals as well, we're on the camera where you can see all of our equipment for this reason.
They were more than edible.
Yes, they were definitely
delicious.
edible.
Yes.
Mm.
Exceptionally edible. Indeed.
Indubitably.
Indeed.
I'll have another. Oh wait, they're gone.
Oh wait, they're gone.
All gone.
Alright, starting off, Olio says 2020 was a great pause of goal. It was a great pause of goals with big changes, a work that eventually...
was opening up to try and accomplish something monthly with music.
For 2021. Heck yeah.
So you're more of a kind of finding consistency in just getting better at your craft. Which is I mean, I feel like this was such a perfect year. I mean, I've seen so many people. I mean, go on. There's this Facebook page called Socially Distant Fest, where it really gets started off with like very minimal people on there, but it's like live stream music and live stream art and people selling their art, and now it has like thousands and thousands of followers on it. So I mean, you go on there with your music, and people like that have never even had that kind of exposure before are getting thousands of likes, and people are putting Venmo and all their like, hey, like support me as an artist type of things on there. So they're getting like monetary support like they've never gotten before. And I think that's really where a lot of art is heading, is maybe not so much live stream, but finding different ways for us to interact with fans and different ways for us to interact with people in general. But yeah, I don't know. Is there any Olio? Is there any specific? So you're just kind of looking at the opportunities that are opening up rather than specifically choosing a thing to do. Mm-hmm. It's kind of just keeping an open mind and hustling with your craft. Is that? Am I getting that right? Am I picking up what you're splooping down?
If it's splooping.
You're splooping. Mm-hmm. Get splooped.
Yeah, I'm very interested in seeing that. And I would definitely say that with music practice, reaching goals is a good practice is just kind of creating things. Whether it's a song you're never going to release or a poem that you're, never going to show anybody, it's just like practicing that kind of process.
Well, truthfully.
I have some friends right now who also like to state that like a lot of great music has come out of the year 2020 because people were isolated.
They had a lot of time.
They had a lot of time to just sit down. I've seen a lot of epic collaborations with people doing social distancing music and stuff. So it is kind of a perfect time for 2020 to happen for artists to block out a lot of influences that you get from the outside sources of this year. So if you have any music that you'd like to show, just let us know, and definitely like to see where you're coming from.
Well, that's a whole big thing of like what I want to do with the Over the Way channel, and as well as the website that is kind of released but not completely released. There is a link to the website in the description of the Twitch chat, but not in the Twitch chat, sorry, in the Twitch description. But and there is artists that I'm working on getting supported on there, and the whole point of what I was talking about earlier, getting people the resources that they need, the people they need to talk to get jobs and to get more knowledge. Like, I honestly, my music and my art has skyrocketed, and my motivation has been like 1,000-fold since I started working with these guys, and since I started working with my band, and since I was just like constantly surrounding myself with like super talented people. And the thing is, like, we weren't always super good. It's just the motivation that everyone had and the dedication that everyone had to their craft was what amplified. Like, I'm not the musician that sits in his room for 8 hours a day. Like, I did that in high school as a singer, because I was in choir my entire life, and I constantly sang and I constantly practiced, and then I kind of got tired of it. And I know there's still a lot of really good musicians out there that's what they do. They sit in their room for 8 hours a day and they practice. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's really what it takes to get to a certain level. Like, if you want to be really good, you might have to sit in your room for hours and hours and hours and play that same riff over and over and over again. And it's really driving yourself insane. And it's a lot easier when you have people there that are going insane with you.
Art is insane. Art is definitely insane.
It's insanity.
I see from Aaliyah too, getting rich is the goal for 2021. Yeah, I see you. I see the just kidding too. Hoping to weed out all the negativity in life and month by month pick up guitar again, build a PC, overall just be happy and vibe. And that is definitely a huge goal for all of us and as humanity, is just to
build a PC.
To build a
To
PC.
build a PC, everyone needs to build a PC.
Specifically around. No, I'm on this now. Specifically around like $1,600, preferably Alienware.
Yep.
Because they're just a great customer-friendly brand.
As humanity, we all need one, at least.
We need
At least one PC.
we need an RGB setup all over the place.
A nice cost-effective one that like the computer I'm using right now is just to help you out, an MSI. I wanted to build a
Shameless
desktop
plug.
for a while. I'm not sponsored by MSI, but honestly, they have really good quality laptops and desktops for like run-of-the-mill prices. Like I'm building a desktop right now too. It's just they're expensive. Those graphics cards are like $800.
I wish PC wasn't
craziness.
as expensive it is. Like we have PlayStations and like Switches and etc. Like those are expensive in like one initial price. Like PCs, like you just keep tacking on more and more as you go along, and like that's the turn off for me. Is I can totally understand how PC is like a great system because it's so like user intuitive.
Yeah, there's a T-shirt. Everyone build a PC 2021.
Everyone can
I'd
build a
elect
PC.
that as president.
I'll take a PC as
Everyone
president.
deserves one PC.
For president.
For president.
The
top
inauguration
tea honey.
speech is just like computing.
Beep boop pop pop beep pop.
That's funny.
Oh god.
To go back up, I think your girlfriend posted a thing.
Yeah, she did. She
what's-
said, "I'm not a big resolution person, but I'd like to work on not being as shy." And I think that's
Absolutely.
one thing that even all of us on the stream are working on too. I mean, getting used to just having a camera on us like this, and like honestly, like I'm glad I wrote myself notes today because last time I think I had at least 3 moments where I.
Just flat
It was like what Mikey said earlier, that like that really meta concept where I'm just like I see myself adjusting because everything's lagged for us. So we see ourselves adjust and we're like, oh god, like there's other people watching, and it doesn't matter how many people are watching, even if there's 0 people watching us right now.
yeah,
It's still
the
like
camera.
it's still like
Right.
giggity. It's freaky sometimes, but also I mean we're talking about networking and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
And
I personally relate because if you met me in person, or if anyone really meets me in person, especially at my work, I don't introduce myself. I just pretend that you're not there until you introduce yourself to me. And it's not even something that I try to do. I'm just like, I don't know, it's gonna go weird, something's gonna happen, I'm just gonna be like fucking weird, so I just don't do it. But I'm trying to work on that as well. There's a lot of things like that. Like I hate phone calls, and it's something that I personally just have to work through because you got to make phone calls.
Yeah.
I don't like leaving messages.
I'm
I'm really good at leaving messages, but then I'm bad because I leave the message and I leave my number and then someone calls me back and I won't answer.
Yeah.
because you don't know who they are because you don't remember the number.
Like just text me, just give me a text and then I'll call you.
If everyone texts, shit would be so much easier. I
They
think.
say that's unprofessional and I don't understand why. Like I feel like it's gonna change with our as our generation starts taking over.
It's
Dun-dun-dun.
our turn.
It's our turn. Texting 2021. Yeah, no, I'm with you there.
I think there's a specific level of like shame, I think is the word I'm looking for, that you have to either like experience or move through before you kind of eliminate that embarrassment like part of your life. Because some people that are really like charismatic and out there have been through like excruciating amounts of like embarrassment, and then from that point on they're just like, well, screw it, you know, I don't have any like shame anymore, so I'm gonna be wacky or be like, you know, be a character or something like that. Like they're really comfortable with themselves. Like it's just moving through overthinking what people's opinions of you are, you know.
At the same time, though, it is good to have a bit of humility so that you can understand when you're making an ass out of yourself.
Oh, for
100%.
for sure. I mean,
yeah.
I think that's why I like my friends, because like the people I have in my life. I mean, Addy specifically, he's been with me throughout like my entire life, and it's been like I go out in society and I don't really worry about how the other people perceive me in a negative way, because I'm like I have a pretty good support system of friends, and there's always been that like group of friends that we had. And then at the same time, they're the same friends that'll call me like I do something stupid. They're like, Tony, you're
Dumb ass.
like stop, like you are like that's not cool. That's not cool. And like I had that accountability of just like Tony, stop being a dumbass. And
That sounds like Addy.
It was our whole friend group, man. I mean, when someone's doing something stupid, I think. Like, we've all gotten better. I mean, back in the day when we were kids, I think we probably didn't communicate that in the best of ways. It was like, punch each other in the face or something. Because boys. But I don't know. Like, nowadays, I mean, if I'm uncomfortable with something, or Addie's uncomfortable with something, or I'm just name dropping right now, but if one of our friend group is uncomfortable, like, we say something if it's, like, a big enough deal, and then it's just, that's it. Like, we actually have that support system, and not everyone has that support system, and I think that's a big part of what we're talking about, the goal setting and having that support system of confidence and networking to go find the people you need, not being as shy. I mean, find those people who boost you up, you know?
I think an important thing we talk about too, which would be a callback to one of our older streams, is weeding out negativity in life. Is when we were talking about just having respect for other people to not, exist around them in a setting. Like, that is a form of respect. Like, if a goal of yours is to remove negativity, then how you can accomplish that is out of respect, you know?
No, I'm not. I'm completely with you.
No, that was it. That was good.
That was. I didn't have much to add. Like you
No,
were kind
I let you.
That was it.
I let you go there, and also towards the end, I started reading what just popped up in the chat.
Yeah, so
That caught me
Oh,
too. That's
cool,
when I
yeah.
stopped talking too. So it was a good move on point.
The
Yeah.
fact that we're talking about this is probably going to make me finish that song, The Expectation Less Than Intention.
When you brought it up to me the other night, I was 100% on it. So I'm excited to see it coming back.
Expectation Less Than Intention. There's a shirt, there's a hashtag,
We got a couple shirts
the
ideas.
scribble. Huh? Yeah, we got a couple of shirt ideas. They're gonna pop, ploop out.
Can't tell you what they are though, because
Yeah.
you might steal them.
Yeah.
If you start a trend though, if it's a hashtag, give us the shirts.
Yeah.
We'll totally get it.
We'll give you partial credit.
We'll give you the shirts for 50% off, 100% on.
50% off 100% of the time.
Just so everyone knows, if we ever had a deal going, we would be serious about it.
Yeah, they would actually be like a produced thing. You would see it. It'd
It'd
be
pop
very
up on the
apparent.
screen. Poof, poof. It would be
With
right there.
Tony's 6-hour editing skills.
I like to do that.
This 5-second video took me 10 hours.
Thank you everyone for your participation in our
thank you.
chat thing. I think that this is something we'll probably do every time because
Yeah,
of last time.
it's nice. It's a nice breakaway too, and I think it gives us more ideas to talk about with what we're going on to talk about now. And also, Colton, on the YouTube link, if you're talking about for the Over the Way channel, it is linked in the. There is a link in the Twitch description of the channel itself. There is like a little button you can press if you're on a computer. Or I think even on a phone,
Xbox,
where you can
I
just.
think it was
I don't know what Xbox looks like because I don't have an
Twitch.
Xbox. But
Yeah,
on Twitch, you should be able to just click the YouTube button and it'll bring you there. There's no videos on there yet because I haven't even started editing these down, which is kind of a daunting task now because there's like 5. But you know,
Yeah.
all the editing stuff. But there will be videos on there. It's just essentially going to be these cut down into like 10-minute videos whenever I find the time to do that, and or whenever we get an editor.
Yeah, we're moving forward to getting more equipment, so editing will be easier.
Yeah. But yeah, let's actually bring this.
Thank you so much, Chad.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Welcome back.
Welcome
Back to the warm colors.
Yeah, it's so warm and not bright, and I mean not that it was brighter for us over there. It's just brighter for you.
Brighter.
Yeah.
Discombobulating.
Discombobulate.
If anybody's seen that meme, it's great.
Discombobulating.
Break on. Discombobulate.
Or I say we move on to our goals for this
Yeah,
year.
we'll take Olio's question and do that.
Who would like to start? I will.
Yes, Thomas.
That's kind of how it goes.
So, I have a personal goal. It's more of a side goal for me, but it's definitely something I plan on working on over the next year. I'm giving myself about a year, roughly, to. Hello.
that.
Someone keeps subscribing every time. It's great.
Thomas, it's all you, man.
Every time I'm talking.
Just stop talking and then talking again.
Yeah, they'll just roll in. I have a side goal for myself, and I guess this is kind of an announcement that this is happening.
Keep talking.
Oh, yeah. Can we make it to where that pops up on screen every time someone subs?
A can?
Yeah, just a hand come out from the side and just...
yeah, we could do that.
In the future, I mean...
Can we hire somebody to
we could literally... Yeah, we could do that after the stream.
Welcome back.
We could literally record it, and we could have a non-brand... We could have a non-brand soda just go...
Yeah, I'm trying to keep the...
Yeah.
You don't know what this can is.
Hello, friend.
Welcome that 888 and Tom.
So, for the third time...
Subscribe.
Keep subscribing so Tom has to keep starting over.
Yeah,
Let's
then
get that
this
started.
stream will never end, and we'll all be just way happy 10 years from now. I have a goal to do a cover album. This is kind of the announcement for that, I guess. It's gonna be a solo project where I play most of the instruments, but there will be other people involved, like this guy and that guy. I don't know who they are, but they're gonna help me. And
I don't exist.
It's gonna be cool. It'll be a bunch of different genres, but now that I'm done plugging that, that's one of my goals, and it's going to be. I'm hoping to do it over a year, which sounds like a long time, but when you're doing these projects and you're trying to get so many people involved, it's like you gotta plan for it to be a long project.
Yeah.
And I think that my way of approaching it is not to overwhelm myself or anyone else with it right now, and just to get the ideas together, and then we start with a song, and then we move from that song to the next song, and that song to the next song, and we just keep going. And that ties in as well with my goals for the Unknown Knowns, which is the band that me and Tony are in, if you didn't already know that. And the goal really is just to keep working, just to keep moving, keep consistently having practice, even if not every practice is going to be productive, but just having that practice and playing some of the same songs over again, and also just like talking about what we're going to do sets us in motion to do those things. We over the last year we released in Stop laughing at chat. Shut the hell up.
Can't help it.
I'm talking over here. Hey chat.
Shut up.
I love you, but get out of here. I'm just kidding.
Thomas brings in the subscribers and scares them all.
And then I kick them all out.
Come to me, my children.
I looked over
Get out.
I looked over at Tony's face at the exact same time. We got the same smirk.
I know, we must
like,
be like...
I didn't read it. Yeah.
You'll read it after. Yeah, we were fine.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, no, we're listening.
Shit, what was I saying?
Keep moving.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're kind of at the end of it. I mean, you just keep moving.
You were telling me to keep going, and that's what I was talking about.
Keep going, now we're telling you to keep going.
Since we recorded our album as The Unknown Knowns, which you can find on every single music streaming platform, including YouTube, Google Play Music, YouTube Music, your friend's backstreet garage.
Shameless
It's called
plug.
not Over the Way.
Oh, it's called Over the Way.
It's called Question the Cemetery.
Yes.
Question the Cemetery by The Unknown Knowns.
Very good album.
Even since we've recorded that and we released it in January, the songs are way better now than they were when we were recording. I don't want to say that exactly because they are still good. It's just that we have changed it to how we currently are. And to me, that's better, just in my own view. But the album is still great. Please listen to it, please.
It's shameless.
And it's just... repetition makes everything better in time. Which isn't to say that if you repeatedly hit yourself in the head with a hammer that you're eventually going to get rid of that headache.
You'll get results.
Or anything. You'll get some kind of result.
You'll get a result.
But you need to repeat things and constantly try to make them better. And that's how you will become better at things.
There's a term or phrase my choir teacher used to say. She hated the term or phrase "practice makes perfect." She was always like, "Practice makes permanent." The more you practice it, the more you will do what you practiced. It'll never be perfect, but at least you're gonna do closer to what you practiced every single time.
I've heard that. That's a good one.
Yeah. Moving on. Goals. Good goals, Tom.
Thank you.
Stares into the camera.
I haven't thought about goals in 20 years. All I know is there's an octopus in chat,
Oh, it's scary.
and he's my friend.
Oh, okay. I went the opposite direction with that.
He's a scary friend.
Just because he's my friend doesn't mean he can't be scary.
I think personality-wise, I'm not a goal-oriented person, which is hard for me. Which I think was why the idea of talking about the phrasing of New Year, New Me kind of popped up, is that I'd never set resolutions. It never really gave me that reward center of like, yeah, now I can do this. It's kind of like I have the ability or energy to accomplish a goal anytime I really want to. Other than starting a enterprise, realistic goals like losing weight or something like that, But I feel like if I could set goals right now with y'all, it would just be to enjoy what we have a little bit more. I took a lot of things for granted before quarantine, and like not being able to go outside and everything, it's mentally draining and things like that. I would love to have the ability to go out and like rock hunt again, or take a bunch of friends out and go camping. It's those like small things that we don't get to do anymore. We had just gotten to grill for the first time in I think 2 or 3 years, and that was awesome. It was just grilling. It was like not even in the woods or something. It was just like, wow, we haven't done this in 3 years or something.
Get grilled.
Get grilled, son. I think goals for me for 2021 is just to have more moments like this. The podcast is definitely something that's brought a lot of energy to my life, and starting up a channel of our own would be a huge goal.
We're actually working on that after this.
Yeah. So, outside of video gaming and like creating skits or just kind of recording stuff that we're doing like here right now, where we're talking and interacting with you groups, all 14 of you. Thank you so much for the 14th follow. Yeah, my goals would just be to not change too much. Unless there's negative parts that you guys don't like about me, then I'll change it in a second.
Shameless plug.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to continuously work on finding happiness in every single day. Back in college, me and basically an accountability partner of mine went on a huge, massive streak of positivity. And although every day wasn't positive, we decided it was positive, and I want to work on getting back into that mentality with all my friends this year. Whether it's 1 accountability or 3 or 7, I want to have our group of friends just making sure that 2021 is miles, leagues better than 2020.
Should we plug him? Should we say something?
Absolutely, I think
he's a good guy.
I think he deserves it.
So like,
Xavier or Walter Xavier Zatavion James Prince Lewis.
Dude, you remembered.
That's my boy. AKA Zay Astro. You can find him on YouTube if you look up XAYASTRO. I can spell. Zay Astro. He is a musician. The like rap variety. If you're a huge fan of like Fetty Wap or Travis Scott, you'll definitely enjoy him. He has a phenomenal personality, the kind that would keep me going for 150 days of positivity. We thrived. We actually ate positivity in college. We didn't eat food, and it was great. Yeah, go look him up. Would love to have a project with him sometime in the future. And this guy.
How do you eat positivity?
Phil-
That's my question.
it was a guy named Positive.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We don't talk about him. We filter fed.
There's at least one rabbit hole that we just jump into. I had to take it.
I wanted you to.
I had to take it. You kind of set it up.
Yeah.
You said it. It was too right.
I feel like me and Tony at the same time were just like, that's gonna be a thing.
That's gonna I didn't know where it was gonna go, and then it happened. It happened. You set it up 2 times. You're like, it's dead.
How'd you eat 'em?
Stare into. Yeah, a little salt, a little pepper.
Well, I'd rather some yes ands than leave me hanging. So I'm glad you guys are here.
Yeah, that's
We don't support cannibalism or whatever we were just talking about. We
Unless they're
don't
filter
support
fed.
that. Oh my.
Free range.
if they're willing and they had a good life, then totally don't do it. 'Cause that's
You
terrible.
know, we're gonna set a record. How fast can we get banned on Twitch with the fewest amount of followers?
I'm starting a new channel. It's called Over the Yard. Olega wants to know what's in the cup.
What's in the cup, Tony? You let everybody on.
I know, it was like I was drinking it and eating from it. It wasn't positivity. It was coffee. It was coffee, and I put ice cream in my
It
coffee.
was ice cream coffee.
And today I had Rocky Road ice cream in my coffee, so there was like marshmallows and like
Moose
pistachios in my coffee. It was kind of delicious. It was like I got my coffee, my chocolate coffee, and then French press coffee. French press. Yum.
Yeah, right.
French press coffee with Rocky Road ice cream. That's
So what are your goals, Tony?
my goals, right now, so I started this channel. I started Over the Way, the website, which you can check out in the description. And I don't know, I've been just working with like 10, like right now I'm working with 10 artists. These are 2 of the artists that I'm technically working with, and I'm building portfolios and trying to essentially what we were talking about at the beginning. I really want to be the motivator for other people. And it's honestly been motivating me to stay consistent with my art and stay on top of. Everything's changed for the artist community right now. 2 years ago, I literally survived off of playing music with our band and traveling. That's all I've done in that summer. And it completely changed in 2020. As with everybody, like everyone's had to kind of jump on a different train and just figure it out. And that's what I've really had to do is. I feel a lot of people are relying on me to kind of shift marketing strategies and kind of figure out what art stuff I'm doing. And it's not like nobody else is wanting to do the marketing stuff. I honestly kind of enjoy it. I kind of enjoy understanding how fans perceive artists and how I don't know, I didn't realize that over the last 5 years that I've really been taking classes and I've been really formulating how artists are perceived by society. And this year I'm really making that a goal to actually use my skills that I've gained and actually start capitalizing on it and maybe making a little bit of money off of it in the process, and hopefully helping other artists reach those connections and actually start being consistent with their art. So really mine's an external goal. It's me. I get help within myself in working on my art. I get the motivation by helping other people. And that's really my goal. Right now I'm actually coming out with my first album, my first solo album called Don't Wish Me Luck, Wish Me Love. That's my first album that I'm coming out with in January at some point. I don't really know. I have it done. It's just mainly getting it to you guys. Actually, all the songs are already released. You could go to my YouTube channel or my Facebook at AytuC, letter C. And the whole album's already out. There's music videos for like half of them. Yeah, check it out. I want to release that. I'm working on all these new songs right now. I'm a dance teacher. Really, it's just like staying consistent with all my art and getting motivation through helping other artists. Because I have a lot of projects. I love having a lot of projects because it keeps me fresh. I hate staying stagnant. And also college. I'm a college kid.
Professional.
Yeah. Having those long-term goals makes me feel like I have a backup plan. Even though I'm not making any, I'm like way, I'm way
The
broke.
opposite of making money.
I am so in debt, but I'm learning a lot and I'm making a lot of cool connections. Like this year, the only reason why I felt confident in even starting this website and this whole channel is because one of my teachers actually helped me reach out, get in contact with a guy who helps build up companies, and I've been working with a guy who's helping me understand marketing trends and helping me understand what problems in like a community are had, and how to like evaluate people on those problems and actually how to like help people with those problems. So it's just we're trying to build a community. I'm trying to build that community of artists in the Midwest and giving everyone an opportunity. Like next week, actually, this is a plug right now. My brother's coming up, and he's gonna be. I guess I just totally ruined the special guest surprise, but he's gonna be doing some art for you. I'm not even gonna tell you what art he's gonna do. He's gonna do some art for you.
I'm gonna say his name.
But it's our first time that we're actually gonna show you guys the business partner that we're kind of working with, Ava Arts Community Center. We're gonna have a nice. I actually just practiced this the other day. It's a nice little like chair setup. It looks like an actual stage setup. It's kind of funny, and it looks really nice. And then we'll have the stage for my brother, and he'll show you his art, and we'll talk about his art, and we'll talk about your guys' art. We'll have a chance for you guys to bring up the art you're working on, and maybe we'll check out some of your art on live stream if we can figure out how to do that. Yeah, that's really what I'm focusing on.
Yes.
Yeah, staying motivated within myself. Cause damn, I feel like I took way too much time off in 2020. Not that I even intentionally did it. I got sick like twice.
Dude, everybody took all this time off in 2020.
Dude.
They were either forced to, or they just did.
Yep. Truthfully,
it's been a rough year for everybody. Hopefully, this next coming year will bring a little less challenges and a little more money.
and a little more money.
Yeah, but
That's funny.
I think that's our time.
I mean, we had one more little thing to talk about since we did such a long chat thing. If you guys wanted to talk about this,
Can we give a quick breakdown?
yeah, a quick little breakdown to just not end on just our goals.
Yeah, I'd like to say a little side thing too. As I see that in chat that my friend and I don't have any goals. I'd like to say that that's like kind of how I mentioned earlier that that's okay, is to not have any goals set. That doesn't set you apart from anyone else that are goal oriented. I myself, and now you guys are spamming pictures in chat. There's a fish on fire on chat. But I would say, no matter what age you are or at what point in life you are, it's okay not to have any serious goals. Some people are better at looking 10 years in the future, and some people are better at looking, a minute or a day in the future. It's about just kind of...
It's all necessary. It's all necessary.
Mm-hmm.
It's about surrounding yourself with diverse people. Like, all of us sitting on this couch right now have completely different ways of thinking. And I think that's why one of the reasons this podcast is going to succeed in at least some aspect. Is we all look at things differently. We're all comfortable with, like, he has a different way of setting goals than I do. And Thomas has a different way of setting goals than all, like, we're just all different.
Yeah, Tony asked me what I want to do with my life, and I cry. I don't want it.
So, hey man, what are you thinking about doing in the next year?
Don't put responsibility on
I can't do it!
Yeah, I think that's a pretty genuine response for most humans, man. I mean, a lot of us don't have the, I'll call it opportunity to have this, like, foresight into being confident with what the field, because, like, legitimately everything we're working on right now, like, it could fail. And I think that's the whole big part about setting goals in itself. I mean, whether or not you set long-term goals, you still go out and you go do things, regardless of what's going to happen. And that's the big thing. Like, you don't have to have any of these big goals that you have for yourself.
Yeah, don't think of it as a setback.
And it's not a setback, but surround yourself with people whose ideas you agree with, or ideas you don't agree with, and you are able to still, like, have a conversation with them, because that's also important, having people in your life that have completely different goals and you guys are able to still
absolutely
communicate through those differences.
I would say an extreme example is Crazy Uber Guy, but a more common one is someone that you don't necessarily agree with could teach you a lot, and it's just having the patience and, like, the ability to understand from their perspective. Diverse your friend group by any means necessary, and enjoy everyone's company, because you're going to learn a lot from everyone you're surrounded with.
Exactly.
Even if they're telling you to knock it off, it's for a reason.
And in the long run, it's not really wasted time. It's like any romantic relationship or any friendship. If something comes to a non-closure end, since there's no such thing as closure anyway, if something comes to an end, at least you learned what you didn't like or what you did like. And that's kind of the basis of goals. I mean, it's not so much about the long term, it's just where you yourself are comfortable in the world. And that's really it. And as you get older, I mean, I don't know how old you guys are. I feel like you're just a tiny bit younger than us. But as you get older, I mean, you start really formulating what you enjoy and what you don't enjoy.
I don't know, man. Look at chat. Look at that. That's a bunch of Shakespeare's right there, man.
Thomas is gonna get all the followers.
No, it's just because it's just filled with pictures. So I just felt like.
Is that Shrek? Hang on.
I think that's
It looks like a sea monster.
Yeah, is that from the Monsters and Aliens?
You know, I'm about that baby.
That baby's like
the firearm. And I don't know what that is. It looks like a rabbit.
I see the Velociraptor with 2 squid arms.
Yeah, right.
And Steve.
Can you pair things together in chat?
How does Twitch work?
That's a great question.
I don't use Twitch. I like Twitch, but I don't use it because most of the time I'm playing Red Dead.
You like Red Dead.
I like Red Dead.
If you didn't know, Thomas likes Red Dead.
So what we got for a final little tidbit before we nod off?
The final tidbit is, so this is what I wrote down. The perception in which we look at other people's goals and how that affects our goals. So it's just, I mean, in times like this, where everyone feels it's necessary to set goals. Like, I myself don't really fall into, holidays all too often. Like, I'm just now celebrating the Christmas, New Year's idea with my mom this weekend. Just because, it's just simpler. We wait until stuff is over, and it's more time for us to not deal with traffic and not deal with, if we're buying each other stuff, it's just buy stuff for each other at that point after the fact. And I feel like it's really easy to get caught up in that we need to do things in a specific time because of the way that other people are doing things. And it's not that I don't want to do holidays or that I don't like holidays specifically. I mean, I don't really like the concept of people only adhering to them and only buying people stuff because they feel it's necessary to. I'd rather give someone a gift on a Tuesday because it's a Tuesday and I love them rather than because it's I feel obligated to because it's Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah.
That's just it seems weird to me that we don't have that idea all year round. It's everybody's birthday every day in their own head. So it's I woke up today, I'm alive. Wow. I mean, if you appreciate somebody, show them that you appreciate them in any moment.
I think that would be a great topic for the future.
Yeah, that's a solid topic for the future.
Discussing love languages and...
Discussing love languages, that is a solid topic.
I love the shit out of that. Love languages. Sorry for you kids.
Sorry for you kids.
Sorry for you kids, but yeah, I absolutely would love talking about love languages.
I mean, love languages with friends or anything, man. I mean, understand
that's
how
exactly
people work.
how crazy it gets. Because gift giving is not everyone's cup of tea. It's just personal time or,
I enjoy my
we'll get into it. You guys have to be there next time.
Gotta be there. It might not even be next time. It might be next time.
Next common sense.
Next.
1 whole month.
Next 1 whole month away.
It'll be next common sense. So you guys mark it on your calendars.
But we will always have those chat times, I figure. So if no one's saying anything about a specific topic that we bring up and you want to ask a question, we're probably gonna take it.
Most likely, at least right now. Well, I mean, honestly, ask questions now, because if stuff starts getting busy for us and we have a lot to talk about, or there's just a lot of viewers going on, I mean, we won't say that your stuff will get lost in chat, but it might get lost in chat.
We will try our best.
We'll try our best.
There's no way we could always talk about everything in an hour.
Truthfully.
I mean, we are over right now.
We are,
but that's totally cool.
And I did set, when people see our thing, our invites and stuff, it says till 8:30.
Oh, okay.
I guestimated that chat stuff would take about 30 minutes every single time, especially in the future.
Me gusta.
But me gusta. But just when you look at other people's goals, and I think we forget that we're all different people. And when we set goals, we don't have to I mean, this is a perfect segue into what we were just talking about. I mean, you don't want to sit there and think you have to set goals your entire life based off of what other people are directly doing around you, because I mean that's where the diversity comes into play. I mean, sure, I imagine a good percentage of my goals came from negative experiences I've had, and that's I mean, positivity kind of does come out of negativity in a really weird way.
Yeah, I'd say so. There's a lot of situations that end up being useful, or not so much useful, but they end up being a good thing in the future. In the moment it's probably not that great, but it probably led to something that is positive.
It's if even offering an opportunity to look on the bright side.
Well, definitely. I mean, I think it is also hard. I mean, it's almost like a spiteful. I feel like some people do get caught in that spiteful goal setting, where it's just like they set a goal because like to spite somebody. Like, hey, you didn't believe in me, so I'm gonna go and do things. And like that's great that like it inspired you to do something, but I do pity somebody who stays in that mindset for the entirety of their goal set. Mm-hmm. Like that's their only driving factor, because once they accomplish that goal, then like at that point, like that what defines them. So then like
just continuing.
It's just gonna continue into this like, and I'll bring up musicians. There's so many like pop star musicians that like, hey, you didn't believe me when I was in the bottom, and like that's totally fine. Like if like obviously like yes, like that is a story to be had, but just because people didn't believe you at the bottom, that doesn't define who you are as a person. Mm-hmm. And I feel like a lot of people let that kind of idea define them because of their haters. Like obviously it's kind of like, I honestly think it's hilarious. Like if someone actually were to hate on us or start giving us weird spam, it's just like, okay, well at least we're popular enough for someone to actually do that. That's cool. But I feel like it's easy to get caught up in that. It's almost like a weird motivated but demotivated at the same time, because once you accomplish your goal or you're at the top, it's like, are you still defined by the people who used to talk shit about you?
That was
it's a little confusing.
That was kind of the polar reason why I thought of the New Year, New Me forming sentences, because I almost see it more of like in a negative standpoint, where people were just like, I'm gonna prove everyone wrong, so that's why I'm gonna change myself beginning of the year, you know? It's like everyone really latches onto that, like, I need to change because I didn't like how last year went, and I'm sure no one likes me, so I need to change so that will change, you know? It almost feels like a negative connotation of New Year, New Me.
It's like that. I think I brought this up on our last, maybe it wasn't Common Sense, but the art. I just did a video the other day, where it's the Alan Watts quote, where it's like, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And it's that quote seriously constantly comes back up in my life. And Alan Watts was a big proponent of like, the minute that you think that you need something good in your life is already a negative experience.
Yeah.
Like just the fact that you're pushing for something better makes it a negative experience. And I mean, we're not gonna get into how philosophical that is and how intense that is, but it's that exact sentence, is the road to hell is paved with good intentions, because everyone looks at good intentions differently. So everyone's good intentions is gonna be someone else's negative intentions. Yeah. So no matter how you look at it. I think for me personally, I won't say the best way to do something. For me personally, I try to make sure when I'm accomplishing like a goal that means something to me, I'm not doing it for anybody else other than me. If I'm doing something for the spite of something, or like I know for me personally that my steam with that kind of idea will run out. Like if I put so much work into something based off of hate or some sort of thing that is negative in my own mind, then I'm gonna run out of steam. I'm not gonna care about it in the future. I already know that about myself. And some people might work differently. Some people might just keep that steam up, and they're just like, fuck the haters forever. Yeah. I can't get stuck in that. That just seems really exhausting to me. I feel like I kind of took over this topic.
No, it's okay, man. You know,
or that part of the topic.
I mean, you might get a resignation from me. You might not. No. But it's been a blast, y'all. Good. Thank you for telling us that we have, or at least that Tony has great.
Tony has great wisdom. We're here
look
to
at that headband, man.
That's a big headband.
Or it's a big. I don't know. It's a bandana. It's whatever. Anyway,
thank
you all.
It's made from the souls of all my haters.
Great wisdom.
Great wisdom comes from many haters.
The most hated.
He drinks from the blood of his enemies.
Oh my god, past shock. I drink from the past shock moments.
I miss positivity. Why did we read him?
We just called back like 5 minutes in 1 second.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my lord. Hey Ma, that's some broccoli. That's some good broccoli.
Yo, sick broccoli.
Is that broccoli?
That's broccoli.
That has got to be broccoli.
That's
or
diagonal tree.
Or a small tree, yeah.
That's a small tree. Dude, is cauliflower not ghost broccoli?
I think cauliflower is just albino
cauliflower
broccoli.
is ghost broccoli.
Albino broccoli.
Hey.
Chat.
It's ghost broccoli, don't argue.
They didn't even start it. We're telling them not to.
Better sit down, chat.
And guess what, chat? We're gonna give you the disappointed stare, and that's gonna be the end.
I'm gonna get real close for this one. Don't hit the stream button. You could have done better.
You could have.
You could have done
Could have.
Why didn't you do it?
Why didn't you do it?
Bob Ross has wings over there.
Yo.
You could have done better. See you next time. Bye.